Hello, you. It's me. And I hate to do this. Well, I don't totally hate to do this, but I listened to Gypsy's video, that cyberbullying video, and literally about a minute in or so, I already had like a page filled with notes. So instead of just writing a synopsis, I am going to just go through the video. We will listen to it audio. We will listen to the audio of the video, not the actual video itself, and just stop it when we have something to say, or when I have something to say. And I'm sure you would have something to say too, because it's comedy gold, quite honestly. From the things that I've heard, which inspired me to do the video in the first place. Yeah, it's comedy gold. So we're just gonna go through it at least as much as I can until I just can't stand it anymore. I mean, come on, there's just only so much you can take of Gypsy's baloney. But yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. And let's start the video and see how far we get into it before we want to lose our minds. All right, here we go.
I'm kind of wanting to focus on a serious issue. So I want to talk about this today, and I hope you stay tuned long enough to honestly get a lot of good information from this video.
Have to stop it already, because everybody is going to Gypsy Rose to get good information, correct? I mean, she just knows everything. She's so smart, so intelligent, and knows everything so well that, she's certainly someone we'll look up to be taught, right? You can see I'm already just, a little wound up, but we will continue.
So I really want to talk about the dangers of cyberbullying. I think that in America and honestly all over the world, we are facing a huge problem with cyberbullying right now.
Now, Gypsy would know a lot about this, considering how much cyberbullying she has been doing. I talked a little bit about it yesterday, or on my last video anyway. But I saw a video, I don't know if it was a clip, I guess it was a clip, from Straight Outta Context. I always have trouble saying the last part of that. I want to say straight out of content, but it's context. And it's this young girl, I think her name was Amber, and she's like, I'm of sound mind, but Gypsy and her cult are attacking her, and she seems scared to death. And I just saw this video, I think today. It's been within the past 2 days. I saw this video. It's just a short little clip of a TikTok, but this poor child looked scared out of her mind. And she's not the only one. There's a lot of people coming forth who have been doxxed and who are getting threats. I mean, all kind of craziness. And yet Gypsy is here saying, oh, I want to let you know about cyberbullying, that it's a really scary thing. But she and her minions are the ones who are doing an incredible amount of it as recently as 2 days ago. It's insane. The audacity of this person who does the crime, but then talks about it because everyone else does it but her. It's crazy. It's a pattern. Oh my God. I just hope that young woman is okay. That's all I'm saying. But what did they do to this young woman to make her sound so afraid, and to make a video like that saying, look, I am of sound mind, but I'm being attacked by Gypsy and her cult of crazies? What made her do that? I don't know what's happening with these people, but there's a lot of people who are really getting freaked out. What are they saying to these poor people? I mean, it's really disconcerting. It's alarming. It's alarming. And it's not legal, by the way. I know Gypsy knows a lot about doing things illegally, but she's so blatant with it. That's what gets me. And she's being so blatant about it. I just hope it comes around. Anyway, back to the video. Sorry, I'm going off on tangents because I know some of the things are coming ahead and it's unbelievable. Anyway, well, let's keep going.
The areas in which I think are the pitfalls of social media is that, yes, there's community guidelines that are put in place on these platforms such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. So there are community guidelines that are put in place to prevent cyberbullying, harassment, doxing, and what have you. But the problem lies is that there is a local law, there is state laws, there's federal laws. However, if you are in a situation that you're being harassed or bullied from someone in another state, say I'm in Louisiana and I'm being bullied from someone in a different state. Okay.
I just wanted to stop it right there. One, I don't want to play it too long without interruption because I don't want to get any strikes or whatever the heck, or get my video taken down. Although I'll tell you quite straightforwardly, I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is just doing stuff on my free time. Yeah, this is just doing stuff on my free time. But I want to make sure that I am changing things, making this my own. So forgive me for interrupting. Anyway, she's talking about laws, and I will agree with her on this, that the laws are kind of laxed when it comes to cyberbullying. It's very hard to make a claim or get somebody in trouble, which is probably the reason why she does it so often. And remember, she never does it herself. She always has her minions do it, and then she just laughs at it. So, let's make sure she's doing everything to make sure that she's clean, even when she's dirty. Okay, let's continue.
My local law enforcement will not know how to handle something that is a federal situation. And that is, I think, the biggest pitfall that people face when combating online bullying. The amount of people that I have seen personally myself be able to say such heinous and horrible things online.
I know, Gypsy. You do it all the time. So I see what you mean. You and your minions are doing it constantly. They even left a message on my channel talking about how ugly Nina is, and she's a liar. Craziness. Are you kidding me? So she's talking from experience here. So we should really listen to what she has to say, because she knows, because she's been doing the cyberbullying quite a bit. So let's hear more about what she has to say about it.
Little to no reprimand by these companies or, social media guidelines.
Exactly why she's doing it. Or, well, forgive me. That's exactly why she's getting her minions to do it, because there aren't really any ramifications.
It's disturbing, and I really feel like this is an issue that does not get talked about enough. And it goes beyond me. It's not just me that I am, speaking about this on.
But you should speak about it on you, Gypsy, because of all the cyberbullying that you have done. And this is not just my opinion, my thoughts, and my feelings, although they are. But there's also been a lot of proof and evidence that your little minions have been going around and bullying a lot of people. So this isn't just made up. This is real.
Time and time again, I have seen friends go through it. I've seen Ken go through it. I've seen my family go through it. And the level of just shit that they have to deal with when...
And whose fault is that, Gypsy? You know, miss, I just want to go home and live a normal, boring life, except that you put your life everywhere. You've put it online. You put it on television. You've made movies. And you don't expect some backlash? I'm not saying that people should bully you or your family. I don't support people who make death threats and things like that. I can understand to some degree why, but I don't support those things. That's not a good thing. But I don't think that's what she's talking about. I mean, does she get cyberbullied? It's possible. But let's continue on. Let's continue on before I continue with what I want to say there.
Just living their lives. And a lot of people are really just kind of unfiltered, and we live in a society that people think it's okay to say the worst things that they can come up with.
Like you, Gypsy, right? I mean, you're admitting it right here, aren't you? Because you were saying terrible things to a lot of people. And, well, your minions. But they wouldn't have done it if you didn't tell them to. Just saying.
And it just go under the rug. And in a sense, it does. So...
See, that's how you get away with it, right? You and your little clan, that's how you get away with it. Because it's very hard to press charges or to see any justice for the kind of cyberbullying that you have been doing.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it right now. So... for me, I can speak on my own personal experience. I have a criminal history, and with that being said, there are certain, I guess you could say, opinions and certain things that I have to deal with as, number one, a felon, number two, on parole, currently on parole, getting off of parole in about 2 weeks and 6 days.
You notice she had to specify that. I love how she thinks that because she has a criminal history and she's a felon, but she's getting off parole soon. Got to remind everybody of that somehow we need to forget what she did. It's amazing, isn't it? It's only been 10 years. That's not that long.
But the duration of my parole, the amount of bullying and harassment that I have had to go through is insane. Everything from...
I wonder if she's going to talk about how people were bullying her daughter even though nobody said anything about her child. You know, I can't help but wonder, you know, how much bullying she's actually getting, or just people piecing together all the lies that she said and pointing them out. I wonder which one it is.
People reporting me to my parole officer, and these are false reports.
They weren't false reports. That's the problem.
Which I will make a separate video explaining the conditions of parole, and how all these people were like, she violated her parole, and it wasn't true.
Yes, it was. But for some reason, your parole officer isn't doing anything about it. You've broken. Sorry. I'm broken at the moment and tired. But she's broken parole on several occasions. Why the parole officer hasn't done anything about it, I don't know. Maybe they've just been so inundated with calls that they just want her to get off parole so they don't have to deal with her anymore. I could see that being a possibility anyway. But I love how she's like, oh, it's just false. No, it's not. I mean, if you want to go by actual evidence and not just circumstantial, the fact that you attacked Ryan and gave out personal medical information, that's breaking a federal law. So there you go. That's just one. We're not counting the circumstantial evidence that she was probably drinking. She was definitely smoking while pregnant, and a whole slew of other things. But no, she's fine. She's a perfect angel.
Which kind of leads into gossip and the amount of danger and damage that gossip can do on someone's reputation. So
yeah, like you tried to do with Nina, and you tried to do with Becca Scoops, and probably a whole bunch of other people. Those are the two that I know for sure. But yeah, you tried having these smear campaigns to try to make them look like liars, deceitful, horrible people, so that they won't out you for the lying sack of crap that you are. As well as a criminal. Anyway, let's continue on.
We have a lot to talk about, and I would love to be able to open up my comment sections, but as a mother, I am not able, a mother to a 5-month-old, I am not able to go in and pick apart each comment and approve and delete. That's just way too much.
I love how she says she doesn't have time. Except that I have seen numerous accounts of her going back and forth on so many different platforms, arguing with people, telling people they're wrong, telling people they're stupid, they don't know what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah. You have all the time in the world for that, right? She's just lying. She's just lying. I don't even know, when I think about all the time that I see her everywhere else but with her child, I can't help but wonder, is the baby Aurora even living with her? Is the baby even there? Because she seems to have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of other stuff. And she's talking about how she's so busy with the baby. When? When do you have time for the baby?
Have that much time. So I think right now I want people to have these conversations with their family, with themselves, their loved ones, their sisters, their brothers, because this is an issue that I feel I watch on a daily basis.
Yeah, she does watch it on a daily basis because she is a contributor to it. My opinion, my thoughts.
And I am baffled at how little could be done in the moment, or even
okay, I won't say it, never mind.
at all, to prevent and have repercussions on the bullies. And I just want to start by saying nobody's perfect, okay? I think that if you have ever said, you've got an argument in the comment section and you're like, oh, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about.
Don't forget you're ugly. You use that often.
That's online bullying. I'm guilty of it.
Well, at least she finally admitted it. That's something. We need to cut that little piece out and send it to the PO.
Sure you are too. Nobody is perfect. But the point is, it's not a matter of if we are guilty of it or not. It's about...
no, actually, it is a matter of whether you're guilty of it or not. Because if you're contributing to it, then you should stop. Because it's a horrible thing to do.
Hey, we've probably done it in our life, and, it's not okay. And that behavior needs to stop.
I love how she's talking about what a hypocrite. Oh, acting bad like that, the cyberbullying, it needs to stop. Now, will she stop? Probably not.
And just
My opinion.
recognizing that we are all individuals, that you don't know me, I don't know you. I don't know what's going on in your mindset, you don't know what's going on in mine. You don't know if I'm having a hard day. I don't know if you're having a hard day. So with that being said, you never know someone's mindset and what their breaking point.
Well, we do have some idea of your mindset, Gypsy, because you've publicized it everywhere. Everywhere. The problem with you is that you keep changing the mindset to, work in your favor. So, we're not really hearing clearly what that mindset might be, besides, manipulating everything and everyone.
Is what they can take, what they can handle.
Well, we know you can't handle much. Miss Gypsy, we know, has anger fits. And I think, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, one of those little anger fits is what helped to finish Dee Dee off. But that's just my opinion.
So many cases I've been kind of looking at are teens and individuals who suffer from depression.
Now, she would be very familiar with teens, as we have seen with her and Ken being on OME TV. So this is, again, something that Gypsy would probably be pretty familiar with.
So if someone is suffering from depression and you're calling them names like ugly, fat, stupid, like all of the names that you can think of.
Like you did with Nina. Go on.
That you never know if your words are going to be the thing that triggers them to do the unthinkable and unalive themselves, potentially unalive themselves. You don't
Or possibly a parent.
know that. So the words that you say could have a huge lasting impact on someone's life, someone's mental health.
Especially if you're a little tiny baby that's only about 5 months old.
You have more power than you think. If someone is like, I don't let the comments get to me, I don't look at it. You do. You do.
We know you do, Gypsy.
Everybody does. Everybody doesn't. And it's so hard to know if these are the honest opinions of the general public, or if it is just keyboard warriors that want to hate, as they say.
Now, of course, she's saying that because she thinks she is perfect and has never done anything wrong. And so those warriors are just attacking her for no particular reason. They're just bullying her, not looking at evidence and piecing things together and maybe speculating a little bit. Yeah, they're just bullies.
Haters gonna hate. And why I'm kind of speaking about this now is because I'm starting to realize excuse me. I'm starting to realize
she had to include the cough in so that she could show her vulnerable side. That's her vulnerability. She's not perfect, guys.
That it might not be an issue right now, but I am the mother of a 5-month-old daughter. And this 5-month-old daughter will grow up. And when she is 16, 17, 18, 25...
Wait a minute. Why are you jumping up to 16, 18, 25? What about when she's 13? Isn't that going to be a really special year for her, Gypsy? I mean, certainly your discussions with Nick made it seem so.
She's going to go on social media. And my fear that I feel like I know is going to happen, I don't want it to happen, but it's kind of inevitable. It happens to everybody that associates with me or in my life, like family.
Gee, I wonder why that's happening, Gypsy. I mean, if you're just an innocent baby victim, why are victims continuing to happen? All the people that are around you are being victimized. Jeez, that's weird. That's crazy.
Friends, significant other, whatever. They get bullied. And they are a target because they are close to me. So with that being said, when my daughter becomes a teenager and she goes on social media, she's going to face a lot of criticism. She's going to face a lot of bullying. As much as I don't want that for her, it's inevitable.
Why is it inevitable? That's what I'm curious of. One, you could just make sure she's not online. Two, you could be smart and explain to her what she needs to look out for and to maybe keep everything private for just her and her friends and family. You can protect her in many ways. But it's inevitable, right, Gypsy?
So with that being said, I really want to start advocating now to have a safer space online for teens, preteens, children, adults, society in general.
So what are you going to do about it, Gypsy? I mean, you've been such a great advocate so far.
Often teens are not, their brains have not matured enough to understand the difference between reality and online BS.
Gypsy would be very familiar with that. So would Ruby and Demona. There are a few others too.
And that leads them down.
Oh, and Gypsy wasn't a teenager during that time.
On a dark path. So, number one, there needs to be this greater, broader awareness about taking accountability for the words that come out of your mouth or...
Gee, Gypsy. Funny, you talking about accountability. Somebody who has taken no accountability for her actions. Let's continue.
The things that you type and the level of impact that it has on someone else's life.
Or the unaliving of somebody's life. That's a pretty big impact.
Secondly, there needs to be a broader conversation about local, state, and federal laws and how they kind of intermingle with each other. And
now that I agree with. There should be better laws to prevent people cyberbullying and harming other people like Gypsy and her minions have been doing. I agree with that fully. They should come to justice for those injustices. Absolutely.
And are able to connect better. There has been situations, and I can speak from my personal situation. I have had online death threats. I have had people come to my house. I have had people threaten to, unalive me. I have had...
Okay, I just had to stop there. I don't know if she's actually gotten death threats or not. That could very well be. But people coming to your house, that was Ivory Rose Goes Wild, I believe. And all she did was she played into their... Oh, you don't live here, that's bullshit, prove it. And so she did. She drove over there, drove by the house, showed the house, and then left. She didn't do anything except prove she's in the area. Now, would I have suggested her do that? No, I would not. But that's all she did. And they drummed it up to make it like some stalking thing, which is ridiculous. And I swear I heard Ivory Rose say that Gypsy and someone else, maybe Christy, maybe Bree, I don't remember, came to her home and to her work and were like beeping the horn and stuff. I could have sworn that happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn they did that. So isn't she just as guilty? Ugh, such a hypocrite.
All of these range of threats. And what can I do? File a police report? Okay, where does that go from there? If these online threats are coming from someone of a different state, there's little that law enforcement can do. And I feel like they just don't have the understanding of where to take it from there. You can make a police report, and then what's the follow-up? Okay, we'll just put it right down in the books.
Well, to be fair, that happens even in real life situations where somebody is making phone calls to you, that kind of thing. Really all they can do is record the information and then save it in case something else happens, which sucks ass, quite frankly. But the law enforcement can only do so much. That's why we really do need to rework the structure of the laws so that we can do better protection to just anybody online, not just children, not just teenagers, but anybody.
Okay, how is that going to protect me and my family? So it's not just me. We need to kind of look at this. Okay, you have my individual perspective that
I love how she always comes back to her. It's not just me, you guys, but it is about me. I think it's funny.
Plays out on social media that everyone can kind of watch and see the level of hate and harassment that I get as an individual, but in my situation. But
I wonder why.
It goes beyond me, and it also goes beyond the average teen that's on social media. This kind of is a society problem. Recently seen that the cast of the new Harry Potter series was just released, and the actress that is going to play Hermione has been getting major online backlash. And she's a child. Like, I get that she's an actress, and for those people that say, well, she puts herself out there, just like they tell me, well, you put yourself out there.
There's a big difference between a young actress and you, Gypsy. It's somebody bullying a young actress for I don't know what reason, but for whatever reason, that's wrong. Obviously that's wrong. With Gypsy, she's an adult. It's a lot different, and she's not a famous actress or a soon-to-be famous actress. She's a murderer. It's a little different.
Okay, but does that make it right? I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that is sane by saying
she's the only one who's sane. Wow. Okay, I told you this was going to be a laugh riot. Was I right or was I right? Oh, she's the only one who's sane and who's thinking these thoughts. It's just that you think you're the center of the world and you don't pay attention to anybody else. But you saying you're sane after all the things that we've seen you do, after all the FOIAs, after everything that's come out about you. Wow, that's stretching it a little bit, Gypsy.
Not okay to harass a child. It's not okay to call a child names.
It's not okay to harass anybody, Gypsy. That's what you need to understand. And getting your minions to do it, you're still part of it.
A child, even an actress, should not be the target of bullying in any way, shape, or form. And I'm excited to see the new Harry Potter series. So this is just something that I think a lot of people need to look in the mirror and ask themselves on a daily basis. The content that I am putting out online for the world to see, is this helpful? Is this safe? Will this potentially impact someone in a negative way?
I wonder if she looked in the mirror when she talked about very personal, private information about Ryan and put it out intentionally to hurt him. I wonder if she looked at herself in the mirror during that. Because I'm guessing she did, and she loved what she saw.
You really need to look at the weight that your words have on other people. For me, I know that I'm not perfect, and I have...
You're definitely not perfect. That scared young woman saying that she's of sane mind and Gypsy and her people are attacking her. Yeah, but you're sane.
Done and said some things online that I regret. So, but I
love how she just pushes it off as if it was nothing. It is, Ryan could have lost his career because of what she said. Although I'm guessing they were already in the know, so it wasn't a shocker. But the parents of the children that he teaches could complain because they probably didn't know. He could still lose his career. But she doesn't seem to understand the weight of that and that she did that directly. It comes off so unbelievable when I listen to her talk. It's like you everything is everybody else but never Gypsy. And oh my God, is that so prevalent in this video? Holy crap.
I am growing from that, and I think that
She's
is
growing.
Something we should all do. We should all grow from the experiences that...
What has she grown? How has she grown? What has she learned? She doesn't seem to have learned anything because she's still doing these horrible bad behaviors that harm people, and at least in one case killed somebody, and by virtue of that ruined 2 other people's lives, Nick and his mother, let alone his family, let alone Gypsy's family. The Petrie side. Come on. God. But she hasn't done anything. She's not perfect, but it's fine.
That we've done as individuals. Kind of moving on from there and kind of moving into the space of how I will handle social media with my own daughter. Obviously, we don't need to worry about that right now because she is only 5 months. But, one day it is going to be something. So
it's already something, Gypsy. You already have her on social media. You've already done that. I couldn't imagine as, say, a 10-year-old, and I see the video that she put out about me having a great big accident all over her arm and all over my chair, the car seat. I mean, that's not going to harm her, right? That's not going to bother her. She's just going to giggle that away. God.
I think that for me, I'm not going to be one of those parents that are like shove an iPad at their kid. I'm not.
You will. You already don't have enough time to spend with your child, Aurora. Why wouldn't you give the child an iPad to keep her out of your hair? Because you have TikToks to make or Instagrams to do, pictures to make, videos on YouTube. I mean, you don't have time for Aurora unless she's doing a little cameo to show like, oh, she's so cute, isn't she? I mean, come on.
Dangers from everything from... Sorry, I need something to drink.
Oh, there's another vulnerable moment. She's just like you and I, guys.
Right now. The dangers from everything from online predators to cyberbullies to, misinformation. I don't want her to be put in a compromising position.
Until she's 13, right? Let me just tell you, with my child, whenever they were online, I was right there, watching everything they did, everywhere they went, every person they talked to. And if I saw something that seemed alarming, I would immediately step in and confront it or shut it down. But I was there every moment that my child was online until they got a little bit older, a little bit wiser. And even then, I told them, I will come in and check on you periodically. Whatever you're doing, I get to see on your screen because I'm your parent and I need to make sure that you're safe and that you're okay. That's what you do. You police it. You make sure that you watch what they do and you know how smart they are and where their weaknesses lay, and you make sure to protect them. That's what you do. No matter what the government does, no matter what anyone does, that's what you do to protect your child. You stand there in front of them, you play games with them, but whenever they're online, and, especially when they're young, keep it short, you are there every moment, every second, making sure whatever they're doing is okay. That's what you do as a parent. You have to take responsibility for your child when they are online. That's what you do. But, Gypsy has hair to ruin and, pictures to take.
To be one of those parents that's like, she'll get a phone, she'll get a tablet, whatever, at like 16. And I know in society, phones are needed for kids, but there are certain safety features that are put in place for children. Kind of going into the topic of, okay, should kids even be on social media? Okay, I remember when Facebook came out, wasn't it like 18 that you had to have, you had to be 18 to have a Facebook?
Well, originally Facebook was made for college students. So, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I seem to recall it was 13 and older, but I didn't get on Facebook immediately. It took me a while before I had any interest in it. So, just clarifying that.
And then I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into what are the age guidelines for TikTok and Instagram. But I think that there needs to be a conversation had that where's the accountability on the parents? Okay, I know that I, for one, don't want my daughter on social media at 12 and 13.
No, but you do want her to lose her V card to her supposed father. Right? Isn't that what you said? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's so much bigger than just kind of like, okay, I want...
Actually, I hate to interrupt, but that's really concerning because she's the one who brought up the idea of her female child at the age of 13 being taken by the father. And Ken is now the father of a real female child. And they have been on Omi TV. You see where I'm going here? If they're both equally degenerates, that's concerning for poor Aurora, the baby. I'm not going to continue on with that thought, but that's concerning.
My child to have a touch grass kind of childhood, a real childhood with toys and makeup and all the things that,
all the things that you had?
Growing up in the 90s that we had. So it goes beyond that, but it's just...
But she was abused, you guys. Just remember, she was abused. Mm-hmm. With all the princess outfits and all the wigs and all the trips and a room full of toys. But she was abused.
Basic smart parenting. And I'm not, trying to throw shade at anybody that has their kid have a tablet, whatever. I'm just saying, for me, it's my personal preference that I wouldn't want that for my daughter.
And remember, she also was never going to be online with her daughter, never going to show her daughter in the media, right? That was never going to happen, right? So we can believe what Gypsy says when she says this.
Daughter. And especially her being the daughter of me, knowing with all the challenges that we're gonna face. So I think as a society, we need to ask ourselves, is the things that we put out on social media worth the temporary monetary gain that we get?
Well, Gypsy, we know it was for you. Look at all the money that you have. I mean, yes, it's been put into other family members' names to keep tight, so that you don't lose it. There's some law, I guess, that says that you can't use your crime to make money, except that you've used your crime to make lots of money. So it's been really good for you. Social media has been great. You've made lots of monetary gains, so much so that you're trying to make it a career now. You've done it.
Because if I look at the last year and a half that I have been free, the amount of rumors about me, Ken, my pregnancy, my life, have been insane.
I like how she's shocked that people were questioning things like her pregnancy, when I have a theory now that she used fake baby bumps on purpose so that we could question it, so that she could then turn around and say, "Oh my God, you guys are crazy." I am fully convinced. And the fact that she lies so much, how do we not question everything that she says? And there has been evidence that really secured the possibility that they might have been using a doll, maybe in some pictures, maybe in some scenes, instead of the actual baby Aurora. I mean, that's still a theory that's running out there. And why is it? Because Gypsy never tells the truth. I like how she tries to turn around and say, "Oh, you guys are crazy." No, Gypsy, you did it on purpose. I believe wholeheartedly. You did it on purpose.
Some of these conspiracy theories and rumors are insane. I don't understand it, how anyone is able to think this up in their head, put it online, and
they didn't think it up in their head. You gave us actual evidence that made us question everything. Everything. And the fact that FOIAs have come out and there's been a lot of evidence that suggests a lot of things that a lot of creators have said are actually true, which is why they said them in the first place. The only one crazy here is you, Gypsy.
The sad thing is we live in a society, especially with Gen Z, that they will see a video and take it as fact.
That's because a lot of the videos are fact.
It's complete slander, lies, and manipulation.
Well, you would know all about that, wouldn't you, Gypsy?
There are still people out there that think that I was faking my pregnancy.
Well, it certainly looked like it. From some of the videos past, you can see where I show even evidence, and I don't often do that it looked fake. But again, I still think she did that on purpose to make people question it, to keep people around and curious about her. She did it all on purpose.
oh,
my
my
opinion.
daughter is a doll. Like, come on now. Come on now. So, ask yourself, and I'm talking to you, Nina. I'm talking to you, Morbid. I'm talking to Ash Too Trippy. I'm talking to Conspiracy. I'm talking to every single creator that has ever made Gypsy content. Ask yourselves, do you really believe the stuff that y'all put out?
Yes, because there's evidence to most of it. And what there isn't hardcore evidence to, there is a lot of speculation surrounding it that makes it appear to be a possibility. And I think, myself included, when I talk about things about Gypsy, I will say what I think, how I feel, or I will tell you, oh, look, here's evidence in the FOIA. So, yeah, I do believe what I'm saying. And when I'm wrong, I correct myself, as I think any other creator, any other good creator would do. Because what we want to talk about is the truth. We want to get to the truth, and we want to make sure that people know about it so that pathological liars and manipulators no longer get away with their grift.
Is it worth the temporary monetary gain that y'all get?
I don't get any. Just saying. Although if I did, I don't think it would matter. I'm just trying to discuss possibilities and the truth.
Because,
just like other creators, by the way.
To me, I know what's going on in my life. And there's nobody that I would be that concerned about to constantly keep making things up. Like,
Just be clear. I've never made anything up. I might have talked about theories that I've had, but they're all based on evidence. And I have not seen a single creator, here on YouTube anyway, that has just made things up. They're like myself. They hear something that she says or something that she does, and they say, holy crap, did she really do that? Oh my God. That's what they do. And then they put two and two together and come up with theories and ideas. And honestly, there's a lot of creators out there that are brilliant at it. I love it.
Don't get it. I don't.
Of course she doesn't get it, because she doesn't want
There's
anyone to know the
nobody
truth.
in this world that I'm that concerned over. I got enough going on with my life.
We're not concerned with you. We find it entertaining when you do something dumb or obvious, and we can laugh at you. That's it. We find you entertaining because you are a horrendous, manipulative murderer that takes you a tick down. And so you're like a lol cow, except a murderous one. But we like to laugh at you, and we like to show other people why we're laughing at you. Because you're not to be taken lightly. You're dangerous, and you should be away from society. That's why I do it. And I have a feeling you'll get a very similar answer from a lot of creators.
Life and being a mom, it's just not okay. And you know, the sad thing is that, you know, I don't care if people like me, if they don't like me. I don't care.
She absolutely cares. She wouldn't be so desperately trying to make this YouTube channel succeed if she didn't care. She cares greatly what other people think of her. Greatly.
My issue, if you want to dislike me all day long. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Where it gets under my skin is that certain creators put headings on their videos Gypsy Blanchard did this, Gypsy Blanchard did that. And
okay, that's the video, that loud, annoying noise. I don't know what that is. But once again, just defending myself and other creators. We put out interesting titles so that you tune in to see what we're talking about and hopefully find what we're saying interesting too.
It's completely untrue.
But that's it. It's not completely untrue. There's plenty of evidence out there, just in the FOIAs alone. And the way that she changes her story from interview to interview, it's all out there. We're not making things up. Vulnerable again.
There's so much that I feel like I hold back from saying on social media.
She holds back. That's why she's cyberbullying, again, her minions are cyberbullying people because she's upset because they said something she didn't like. Come on. She's attacking people on the daily. I don't know what she's talking about.
Because I feel like it's not worth my time to spend my energy always correcting these rumors.
Except that she does it constantly. Constantly. All she cares about is how she appears to the public. That is her number one priority. For her to say all this is absurd. She spends her whole life worrying about what other people think of her and trying to prove that she hasn't done anything. That's her whole life.
And I literally live such a simple life that my life is not as interesting as y'all think.
Nobody thinks your life is interesting. What we think is that you committed a murder and got away with it, and it's terrible, and because of that, you've got your own head up your ass and think you can get away with anything. And you don't understand that at some point it's coming to bite you in the ass, and we're just waiting to see it happen.
So honest. I make a video of what it's like in my daily life, and people are like, that was boring. Yeah, my life is boring.
Exactly. So why do you think you're a celebrity? Because nobody really wants to watch you. We're just waiting for the other shoe to drop and for you to go away for a long time. Honestly, I mean, I can't speak for everyone. This is what I'm thinking. But I think it's what a lot of other people are thinking too.
So that's it's not always going to be drama filled and exciting.
Except that, Gypsy, you create the drama. You created the drama with Ryan, that's for certain. You created the drama with Nina, making that parody video and just acting crazy. You're the one who creates the drama. You're the one who put out into the public that you could be pregnant again. You're doing it because that's the only way people will pay attention to you, because you're not interesting. You don't have any considerable talents except for manipulating people. There really isn't anything about you. I think, I can't say for most, I can say for myself, I'm more concerned about Aurora's, the baby's safety, more than I am about you. I don't care about you. I don't care about who you're having sex with or who you're hanging around. I don't care about any of those things. I care about the safety of the baby and for you to be out of the public eye, out of the public, just in general. That's what I care about. It has nothing to do with you personally.
Gypsy gets into it with her ex, and Gypsy's texting this person, and that is not my everyday life. My everyday life is feeding my baby, changing my baby, watching a TV show, playing with my baby, playing a board game with Ken, like that's my life.
I like how she says that's her life. But when have we ever seen that? She wants so badly to display her life and what it's like being just a regular family in the public eye. But she never shows anything regular. If those are the things that you were doing, why don't you show that? No, because maybe that's not what you're doing.
I think people have this idea that we're characters, and we're not. We're real life people with real life feelings.
I think people know that. That's why they're so worried about Aurora, the baby.
Feelings that are valid, and we are trying to navigate the public eye, the public opinion, while still maintaining a humble presence that we get humbled on a daily.
You get humbled. Sure you do. By who?
And we are not perfect. We never claim to be perfect.
Nobody ever thought for a second that you were perfect.
So when we post on social media, we are posting as not as celebrities. We are posting as...
I like how she throws out celebrities. You're not a celebrity. You're an infamous criminal that committed a crime that you did not pay for and take no accountability for. Have no thoughts about it except for, oh, that was so 10 years ago. Let's move on. That's how you took accountability for it? That's how you've learned and grown? Oh my goodness. I think, guys, I'm going to stop it here because this is a long ass video and I have had enough of this person. I'm done. I'm done. It's late. I'm tired, and she's just going off on these tangents. She's not really honing in on anything except for you guys, Morbid and Nina and all the other people she named off. It's your fault. Cause Gypsy hasn't done anything. She's boring. She's just a silly little goof who done nothing wrong. And you guys are mean bullies. Unbelievable. It would be nice if they did have stricter cyberbullying laws, because she would end up right back where she came from. And so would all of her minions. I wonder if they even know that if Gypsy goes down, they will probably go down even harder. Although the second time around, my guess is they'll have a trial where they'll show all the evidence, and Gypsy will go down hard too. I mean, I can hope. I don't want to bring you all into it and have you get in trouble for cyberbullying. I'm not bullying. I take facts and possibilities and discuss. That's what I do. That's what I think most creators do. She's the only one who's doing the cyberbullying. She needs to look in the mirror and reflect. Unfortunately, all she sees is her beautiful, perfect self. She could do nothing wrong. Oh, goodness gracious. She is not sane, in my opinion. This video is unbelievable. And it shocks me that there's nobody there to tell her, don't do this. Keep a low profile until after parole. And then keep a lower profile for a while so that people can forget all your craziness, your manipulations, your lies. And maybe you actually can live a normal life. And Aurora can actually be a normal kid living her life with her family. But that's just not going to happen, in my opinion. That's never going to happen because Gypsy loves the limelight. She's been in the public eye since she was a child. And she grew up with it. And I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that Dee Dee made with her, is she gave her an even bigger ego and helped to blossom the monster that Gypsy already was. And it's sad. Anyway, if you have listened to the full length of this video, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. With me just going on and rambling. Probably not much better than Gypsy herself. But I thank you so much for that. And finally, after all this, that's all I gotta say.